Good afternoon. My name is Bill Gravel, and I serve as Williamson County Judge. I want to share with you a brief update on where we are as a county and the good things that are going on and some of the challenges that we're facing. First of all, I would like to say that my very first conference call on the coronavirus was actually on January the 31st, and for me today is the 68th day that I've been working with an amazing team here on trying to be proactive in relation to the coronavirus. I'm really proud to announce that today we opened our COVID-19 nursing home this morning, and it has accepted its first patients, and those patients are actually Travis County residents that were in a nursing home, and they've been transitioned here. There are no COVID-19 patients in the nursing home from Williamson County as of yet, but I'm very thankful for the public-private partnership and for getting the facility up and running. You have to understand that it's really amazing that such a thing can happen, and so we're really grateful. Our health district, our team has just done really an amazing job. I'm also really proud to announce that our test kits did arrive on Monday, and we continue to receive about 500 a day of those test kits. And what's important for you to understand and for me to share as county judge is that this first round of test kits that we've just received are being used for first responders. That would be paramedics and firefighters and our law enforcement community and our medical community. And yes, we're using test kits to test those that are our most vulnerable population if they're in a nursing home or an assisted living care facility. Even today, for the first time, we were able to deliver tests to the testing facility, and it is our expectations from the tests that were delivered this morning that we'll receive results tonight. So I'm so grateful to everyone that has been a part of that process. How that helps us with our first responders is in the past we've quarantined them for quite a while, not wanting to risk them and not wanting to risk our public. So I'm grateful for the system that's been set up and thankful to a company that's been really helpful. It's my understanding as well that this private company now is providing test kits as well for Bastrop County and for the city of Austin. And so we're excited about private businesses stepping up to fill the void, but it's something we've seen from day one. I also know that you are aware of the UT report that came out today, and prior to our press conference here, Judge Eckhart and Mayor Adler spoke really specifically to that UT model, and I will let that stand for better understanding and explanation of that. What I would like to say, though, is there are other models as well that are a little different. They're less predictive on numbers, but they're more indicating how we as a county are doing here in Williamson County. But Unicast offers a human mobility study that rates Williamson County as an A-, and Google Communities reports on April 1st show that recreation and social interacting is declined by 45%. What that means is the better we do at social distancing, the safer it is for a community. What I do want to say about not just the UT study, but about the facts on the ground here in Williamson County is that what we have found unequivocally from the data is that the more we continue with social distancing, the lower the number ultimately will be of those that are infected and those that need different life-saving measures. So the social interacting is working. I know that it's difficult, especially coming up to weekends like this. It is Holy Week for some and Easter and Good Friday. And more often than not, we gather with family and faith. And I want to share with you, just like you, this will be the first time in 40 years that I've not attended church on Easter. But my wife and I will be going to church Sunday. We'll be sitting together in front of our computer, watching our worship service online. I know it's not the same. I understand that. But the social distancing is working, and I think especially for this 3-day weekend, it may be difficult for some and for families, but I just would encourage you, if you care about your loved one, then protecting you or protecting them really is the most important thing that you could do. And then finally, before I take questions, I want to share with you something else that's just been really quite amazing. We talked on Monday about making masks, and here as a county, we have provided N95s for our first responders, firefighters, paramedics, and our law enforcement, but so has each city. I mean, our cities have worked amazingly well together, and I think we've really become a family, but we have limited resources, right? And so we have struggled for several weeks to purchase masks. As you know, we struggled for many, many days finding test kits. And I took the liberty of seeing the sample mask the other day, and I thought, you know what? If a stay-at-home mom can make this on her embroidery machine, what could we do if we mobilized the family? So I reached out to the person I knew who could lead this, and we call it the Wilco Mask Brigade. You can go to our wilco.org, and there's even a link down there to it. I have called on one of our state district judges to take off her robe and to put on her mask and to lead this group. She's done an amazing job. They're producing masks at a pretty good rate. And in the days ahead, they'll be producing as many as 500 masks a day. And I want you to understand what our intent is for the mask. First of all, we are able to use these masks and place them over our N95s because we have such a limited supply. The N95 was only intended for one use. It wasn't intended for use after use after use. And so we'll be able to provide this simple mask that so many are laboring on to put over their N95s. And then also we want to make the mask available to all of our long-term care facilities and nursing care facilities if it meets the doctor's approval to place that on our seniors. And then once we have met the urgent needs there, as well as our hospitals and medical clinics with the mask, if there are more, then we will discover a way to get those into the community. But initially, we need to have enough masks on hand for our first responders. And it's an amazing story. Senior adults in Sun City are washing bulks of laundry. They're laundering that and they're cutting that, and young moms and young men are using their embroidery machines or sewing by hand. They're sewing those, and then those go to a dry cleaner in Round Rock who is opened up and helping us out, and they're cleaning those to make sure they're safe, and then they're packaging those. And between our Sun City grandmas and our army of volunteers at Celebration Church that are practicing appropriate social distancing, it's been pretty amazing. And I just want to say thank you to everyone in the area who's taken the opportunity to make masks. Someone asked me the other day what our goal was, and I said our goal is to make a difference. And we desire to put a mask on all of our first responders, medical, and seniors that we can. And then if there are some left, we obviously want to give those away to the general public. So I'm excited about the mask brigade. And yeah, if I had a goal, I'd love to see 500,000 masks. And I don't know that they'll ever get to that. And I probably just gave a judge a little bit of stress in her life. But what I've learned is that the only way I know to make a mask is just one at a time, over and over and over again. So I want to say thank you to all of those that are volunteering. I also want to say thank you to the ladies and men that are sitting at home that are sewing right now. You never know what face will wear those or what life will be changed. So thank you for doing that. If you're at home manufacturing those, we have 5 different drop-off locations that are listed at our wilco.org site. You can drop them off there, and from there they'll go to be laundered and packaged and individually wrapped. That's the statement that I have for you, the update that I have for you today, and I will take some questions at this time.
Okay. Does the Mask Brigade need financial support? Can people of Wilco donate money or fabric to the cause?
You know, that does a Mask Brigade need financial support? I want to tell you where some of the fabric came from. Judge King and a couple of ladies were able to get into Hobby Lobby and able to purchase quite a bit of material. And I'm so thankful to Hobby Lobby for opening up for that. I'm so thankful to Judge King and her team for being willing to go and pick that up. But the answer to your question is this: I don't know. But if you have bulk material, I tell you what, if you would just stay tuned to our website, and at the wilco.org in the next couple of hours, they will post on there the type of fabric they may be willing to accept, if they're willing to accept it at all. But if you'll just stay tuned to our website, they can answer that there.
Okay. Do you know how many people have been tested in Williamson County overall to date?
No.
How many masks have been made so far?
That is a great question, and Connie told me that answer a while ago. Was it 55 or 155 made last night?
There was about 100. Let me go back to.
There was about 100 made last night, and they tell me that they will be up to the status of 5. Can you hang on just a sec?
Yeah.
I did get a message from an honorable judge.
75 were dropped off at the pod this afternoon.
Okay.
We'll have 200 tomorrow. And then they'll have 200 more by Friday and another
500 by Monday. Yeah. Wow. So 100 were dropped off at 75 were dropped off at the pod a while ago, and it will be into the hundreds by tomorrow and maybe up to 500 by Monday. Isn't that amazing?
What is your response to people who balked at numbers quoted yesterday, saying that 100,000 cases was predicted in Williamson County?
Well, you know, the UT study that I quoted yesterday was, 3 weeks ago, and the new UT study came out or was released this morning. And so my simple answer is there are a lot of folks that have the opportunity to sit around and read studies, and I would encourage them to do that, and then you can draw the conclusions that you need to. As far as me as county judge, I haven't encountered a lot of folks that have balked, you know, to the UT study. It's breathtaking when you look at it. But I want to say this: what our epidemiologists and what our specialists are telling us that differs greatly from the UT study is the UT study does something called doubling, you know, and the question is, how many days does it take to double the number of cases that you have? And that UT study is based upon doubling. It doubles every 2.8 days. And right now in Williamson County, for the last many days, our doubling has been at 6 days. And the reason why I bring that up to you is it is about as third as fast as projected in the UT study, but I think it has everything to do with social distancing and the steps that we've taken. So I hope that we're all wrong in these studies, and that they are over projections and not under projections. But I think the steps that we're taking are right ones to protect our community.
Could you say again how many people are staying in the Wilco COVID nursing home?
There are 3 individuals that were transported today to the Wilco COVID nursing home, and they're getting great medical care.
3 Georgetown firefighters that were recently quarantined at the tennis center been tested yet?
That is a great question for you to ask an amazing mayor in Georgetown by the name of Del Ross, or a wonderful city manager by the name of David Morgan. I can't speak specifically to that.
You previously stated that you want to see Williamson County residents reduce interactions by 90%.
Yeah.
Besides extending the stay-home order and closing parks and trails this weekend, will the county be considering any other enforcement, such as extending park trail closures beyond Easter weekend and issuing citations for behavior that is not considered to be social distancing?
You know, I think the governor's brought down some pretty well thought out orders, and I think our orders as a county have been well thought out. What I would like to say as county judge is I don't know that we need to be any more restrictive with orders. I think what we need to do as county judge and as local elected officials and as media outlet members, I mean, if we really want to make the greatest difference, I don't know that it's more rules. I think that it's continually talking about social distancing and the value that's associated with that.
Is there a chance the parks will remain closed beyond Monday?
Are we talking about Williamson County parks?
Yes.
I would say that everything is an option.
Has the county been able to buy new ventilators?
To my knowledge, we purchased 6 ventilators some 2 or 3 weeks ago for our EMS system. But to my knowledge, that's what we own. We do have a fairly good understanding of ventilators that are in our local care facilities. And I have to tell you, our Seton, our St. David's, our Cedar Park Medical Center, our Scott and White systems, they are robust in their preparation, and we're doing everything we can to support them. I would share with you, saw the numbers that were given out this morning with our update, but what you don't know is that currently right now in Williamson County, we have 13 individuals on ventilators, 16 individuals in the hospital, and 19 individuals hospitalized. And ventilators are available at our local care facility, and I am deeply mindful of those families that are fighting for their life this Easter weekend. And this county judge is thinking about them and praying for them during this difficult time.
Have any first responders in Williamson County tested positive yet as a result of new test kits that arrived on Monday?
To my knowledge, as of our 8:30 report this morning, there has not been any first responders that have tested positive in Williamson County with our new test kits. I would also remind you, though, that our new test kits were just delivered today to the testing facilities for a few first responders, and we don't know the results of that as of yet.
Can you repeat the Google communications found Williamson County social distancing has reduced by 45%?
Yeah, Google Community Mobility Report, April 1st, shows that retail and recreation in Williamson County is down by 45%. And I don't assume to know how they came to that figure, other than, you know, they have the ability to keep up with where we're going and what we're doing there through our technologies. So that was from the Google Community Mobility Report.
For how long will Wilco receive 500 kits a day?
That is a great question. And what I have asked our provider is to provide those each day until we ask them to stop.
Okay. Those are all the questions I have. Does anybody have another question?
Are they on mute?
Some of them are.
They can unmute themselves.
Guys, you can unmute yourself.
I had a question.
Go ahead.
I just ask it instead of writing it down. Do you know right now, as far as the economic impact for Williamson County, job losses, unemployment rates? I know that Austin Travis County had provided numbers like that this week.
Yeah, I don't know the answer to that question, but I do know this, that I know that people have lost their jobs. And I know that some have lost their businesses. And I know that it is devastating to them personally and to their families. I don't know those numbers, but I have to tell you, the work that it takes to start a small business, and you build that up to where it's at, and you're living in the greatest economic times you've ever lived in. Business is thriving, it's prosperous, and then suddenly a pandemic comes through and wipes you and your business out. I can't understand I can't comprehend the pain and hurt that small businesses are going through. But I will say this as county judge, the Small Business Administration on a federal level has done really an amazing job through money from the federal government. And the one small business that's working amazingly right now in Williamson County is our area banks. We have bankers that are working 16 and 18-hour days to process SBA loans. And I'm just I'm grateful. They're working as hard there as we've got Sun City grandmas that are staying up all night laundering fabric. And I think that's what makes Central Texas amazing, is we all work to do our part and our share. I don't know the specific number of job losses, and I don't know the specific number of businesses.
Okay.
Any other questions? Last one for today.
There's one more question that came in.
Yay! What is it?
Do you have a response for those who have accused you of violating the social distancing order?
Well, do I have a response? Sure. I have a social distancing order that says not to gather with 10 people or more. And the only place that I have violated that order has been right here in this executive room when we had more than 10 folks that are in here. And even here at our ESOC, on our first day of emergency command, we had 91 people in this entire building. And every day we have reduced that number. And now our team here in the ESOC is less than 10. And so for those that are accusing us of violating the social distancing order, I just want to say that it's not true. Thank you, guys. Have a good afternoon.